Buonasera a tutte e a tutti, siamo qui con la prima delle interviste in avvicinamento a 3070 DocFest 2022, la terza edizione di 3070 DocFest, il primo boutique festival dedicato ai mediometraggi documentari di registi under 35 in anteprima italiana a Vittorio Veneto. È un piacere grandissimo per noi avere questo film e questo regista in concorso. È un film che parla di giustizia, che parla di violenza, un film che viene dalla Francia, di un autore molto giovane. Abbiamo qui con noi il regista Ugo Simon di Brotherhood, Frère, che presenta il film in anteprima internazionale a 3070 DocFest. L'intervista sarà condotta in inglese per coloro che fossero interessati. Il film sarà proiettato nella giornata di sabato 22 ottobre alle ore 19 al Multisala Verdi di Vittorio Veneto. Hi Ugo, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
So thanks for sharing this beautiful film with us. The first thing that I'd like to know about it's what was the spark for you that brings life to the project of Frère? What was the first motive that bring you into this tree history? Because it's not one history; there are three history related.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for this question. Actually, the first thing I can tell is that it's my graduation movie from my school, cinema school in Paris, which is called La Femis. And when I entered in La Femis, I knew that I had to do this final graduation movie, and I had I don't know. I felt like the need to make a movie about police, but the first thing I wanted to make was a movie about like images of police brutality. I didn't have the idea of making a portrait of these three characters. So this idea came when I went to a demonstration in Paris, like 2 years ago from now. It was a huge demonstration where there were 30 families of police brutality, victims of police brutality. And yeah, I was very impressed when I heard Mamad, Gianni, and Farid, who are the characters of the film. And actually, I chose them for several reasons. The main thing was that they each lost a brother after a police intervention, but each of their loss has been in front of a video surveillance camera, a CCTV, and I don't know. It was like interesting for me to make a movie about these three stories because there was those images of video surveillance that the families couldn't see. Okay, I don't know if I am clear enough, but
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And there's all the film kind of is also built between modern found footage, kind of, because there's a lot of social media images or images taken from the net and interviews that you conduct with these characters. And I was wondering, how do you work in the phase of editing? Because it's the films bring us from a social protest and then bring us to another social protest, and in between we have this history. And I was interested in your editing ideas between it.
Actually, I think the main idea was to make a film about. I think it's a film about speech. I mean, public speech and private speech. And my work as a filmmaker, working with Farid, Mamad, and Jane, was to give birth to these kind of words that gave me in a private space because I had this idea that we're kind of used to hear this kind of speech in public demonstrations today. I don't know how it is in Italy, but in France, there is a huge topic about police brutality. So almost everyone knows about those kind of stories. So it was important to me to show um, uh, something different uh, that can be called like private speech. I mean, a discussion between him and me. Okay, and so these different images were edited by me because it was it was this idea of public with the demonstration at the beginning and at the end, and between those two the big demonstrations, you as a spectator you made a walk in your head, and you learn to know these characters.
And how do you approach this character in the first time? Because it's not an easy matter what you're trying to address in this film, and they have also lost their brothers. So I think it was also difficult to kind of relate in the first moment and to enter into their lives. So what was your first approach, and then how do you work with them?
Actually, I was introduced by a friend uh, who introduced me to them. First, I saw them on this demonstration, and I kind of chose them with this friend, and then he introduced me, and we made a rendezvous with each of these three, and without camera. So the first thing, I mean, I had to introduce myself, to present my project. The first thing I told them it was that I'm not a journalist. I don't work for a TV channel, or I don't know. So I was in a search of making something with them, documentary, but I didn't know how the movie will be at the end, at this moment. So there was this first meeting without camera, and then we directly start filming a long interview, like it was between 1 or 2 hours. It depends. And yeah, so we've made like 3 or 4 interviews with each of the characters, and then I started to think about other images that I could film. Yeah.
And do you think that this also approach you have to also to tell them I'm a filmmaker, I'm not a journalist, so
Mhm.
I'm not trying to figure things out of you, but I want to, I don't know, represent a concept behind what is happening to you, has helped your relation with them, and you're still in contact with them, and just as conclusion, how the process of obtaining justice is proceeding. Did something happen in the investigation, or it's everything like in the film?
You mean today, if
Yeah.
there is, yeah. Actually, nothing happens, unfortunately. Uh, it's every time it's like that in France. I don't know in Italy, but in France, it's very rare that a policeman is going in front of I don't know, a trial. So nothing happened since the movie was shot. Uh, but of course, I still see them. We are kind of friends right now, and yeah, I continue to speak with them, and yeah.
And last but not least, the filmography about also police violence in the banlieue in France is big, and it's also well known, I think, coming from the La Haine, that it was the biggest success. But in those days, Athena by Roman Gavras has just been released. How do you approach also this kind of heritage or filmic heritage of the violence, the police violence, police brutality in the banlieue?
Yeah, you're right. There is kind of a French tradition of making movies about banlieue or police violence. My approach was precisely, I mean, Athena is like the NT of my movie. I don't know. Yeah, what I mean is that I tried to make a movie which is totally not spectacular. I mean, like not showing anything, any violence, but giving it was like giving this movie as an occasion for those characters to express something very from their intimacy about what they live. And yeah, making something totally different of these big movies like Athena.
Okay. And are you working on a new project? Could you tell us something about what are you working on?
Actually, I'm starting working on 2 new projects, documentaries again. One I make with my grandparents in the north of France, and another one about a French serial killer, but I can't tell you a lot of things because I'm just beginning. So, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hugo, for your time and for being with us today. I'll switch in Italian. Grazie mille, Ugo, per essere stato qui con noi oggi. Io vi ricordo che potrete vedere Brotherhood di Ugo Simon sabato 22 alle 19 al Multisala Verdi di Vittorio Veneto. Il film fa parte del concorso internazionale di 3070 Doc Fest, il primo boutique festival italiano dedicato ai mediometraggi documentari di registi under 35 in anteprima nazionale. Io vi ringrazio e vi do un appuntamento a una prossima intervista con i protagonisti di 3070 Doc Fest.
C'était un humain, il n'avait pas à mourir ce jour-là. Donc aujourd'hui, le combat, on le mène, on va le mener. C'est pas grave, on est parti sur un non-lieu, on s'attendait à ça. C'est pas un truc qui surprend. Dans toutes les affaires où les policiers sont impliqués, où il y a des meurtres, bah, c'est toujours des non-lieux qu'ils annoncent. Mais le combat, on va le mener ensemble pour faire changer ce système. Parce que quand moi je prends la parole, je le dis souvent, c'est pas l'uniforme qu'on attaque, ni les individus, c'est le système qui les rend comme ça. C'est la justice qui protège des assassins. Aujourd'hui, bah, on se doit de se donner la main pour faire avancer les choses. On vous donne rendez-vous samedi à Champs-sur-Marne à 14h parce que le combat Gaï Camara ne restera pas là. Il va aller jusqu'à la Cour européenne s'il faut. Bah, le combat, on va le mener ensemble. Et merci à tous. Parce qu'en réalité, si nous on existe, c'est grâce à vous. Et ce combat-là, je lui laisserai ma vie. Pour la famille gay!